Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. On today's episode, we have a story for you here today titled, I found out my wife used to have an OF account, so I divorced her and she absolutely lost it. Guys, this is what I was talking about on a recent episode where women will hide things about their past that are highly relevant to men. And they do this because they know that men wouldn't marry them if they knew, okay? If this dude knew that she had an OF account, or like in the previous story, the man knew that his wife used to work as a night dancer, then the men wouldn't have married these women in the first place. That is why they hide it. But guys, before we jump into today's episode, I have been doing this announcement on the last few episodes. I have started up a second channel where I will be dipping my toe again into daily TikTok reactions. I know a lot of you guys like those sorts of videos, so if you're interested, I'm going to leave that channel linked in the pinned comment. Make sure you go and check it out. I'm only doing one video a day at the moment of those because they give me a migraine. So we'll only be doing one, but the first video is up. The second video will be up soon, so make sure you go and check that out. Let's jump into this story here. It's a 33-year-old guy. A 33-year-old man explains how discovering a secret from his wife's past led to the collapse of their marriage. When he calmly chose to walk away, she absolutely lost it. All right, let's jump in. I'm a 33-year-old man, and my now ex-wife is 31. We were married for 3 years, together for almost 5. We met through friends in our late 20s, hit it off quickly, and had one of those instant connection type relationships. Just by the way, whenever I hear about these instant connection type relationships and the woman is like 31, of course it was an instant connection, because a lot of the women who are this age, guys, they're getting a bit desperate, right? They're looking for the husband. They're looking for that simp who will ignore her past. They're looking for the dude who's going to give them kids, and so on. Okay, so women, when they're like 31, things will absolutely move fast, and guys will be like, oh yeah, we just hit it off really quick. No, she's just desperate. That's why things progressed so quickly. Anyway, she was outgoing, beautiful, and confident, exactly the kind of woman I had always hoped to end up with. Yeah, guys, because, you know, confidence and outgoingness is highly attractive. She told me early on that she had a bit of a wild past, but she was vague. She said she'd partied too much in college and was a different person now. I figured that was normal. Everyone has a chapter that they don't read out loud, right? We dated, we moved in together, we got married last year, and for the most part, things were good. But I always had this feeling, this gut sense, that there was more to her past than she let on. And it turns out I was right. So this guy, he knew. Okay, yes, she was vague, but she did say, hey, I've got a bit of a wild past. I partied too much in college. This is your sign, my friend, to bail. This is your sign that tells you she has been in a lot of situations with varying different dudes, probably at the same time. She probably has done highly questionable things. This is not someone you want to marry. And if you are going to marry them, it's going to bite you in the backside, okay? This was, you know, a lot of these guys, they get warning signs. This is an obvious one, but there are lots of warning signs with women who are like this, man. You know, a lot of them are good at hiding it, fair enough. But if you see something as obvious as this, there's no way you'd be continuing with the marriage. Absolutely not. Anyway, a few months ago, we were planning a vacation. I was on her laptop, logged into one of her old Gmail accounts because she was trying to retrieve some flight confirmations from years ago. She gave me the go-ahead to dig through her inbox. While I was searching, I stumbled on a folder labeled Content Archive. At first, I assumed it was old social media stuff or maybe blog drafts or something. Curiosity got the better of me and I opened it. Inside were hundreds of photos, videos, screenshots of messages, payment confirmations. She used to have an OF account for over 2 years. Not before we met, during the first year we were dating, right up until a few weeks before she officially moved in with me. Guys, this is the kind of stuff that I'm saying, okay, is women will pull crap like this, and usually it's actually a lot worse than you think. You know, guys will catch their girlfriend cheating, or find an OF account, and usually the nonsense actually extends beyond the period that they catch it for. Okay, so here we have this guy. She has been having an active OF account right up until she moved in with him. How absolutely insane is that? I would not be surprised if she was continuing to like sell stuff on the side or cheat on him after the fact and things like this. Because this kind of behavior, guys, it's pervasive, right? It's not like a one and done kind of thing. Women don't just cheat on you once. That's not how that works, okay? They don't pull nonsense like this once. It's a behavioral thing. They will continue to do it. Anyway, he says, I sat with it before I said anything. She had been lying to me by omission for years. She told me everything was in the past, but that was not the truth. So this guy would have, you know, I don't think he would have put up with it if it was, you know, a lot of guys say, oh, it's in the past, it doesn't matter. But they don't really mean that, because we as dudes, women's pasts are highly relevant if you're considering them for a long-term relationship. Highly, highly relevant. As much as they don't want it to matter, it is highly relevant. And people will say, oh, isn't that the same for men? And to that I say, if women want to hold men accountable for their pasts, they are more than welcome to, but they just don't. When was the last time you saw a woman reject a man because he had been with too many women? I personally, guys, I've never seen it. I have actively never seen a woman do that. If she were to do that, in my opinion, she is well within her rights to do so, but they don't do it. Men will absolutely throw women out over this stuff, guys. It's not even a question. You know, divorce, gone. Kicked out, gone. Anyway, let's continue here. It wasn't just that she had an OF, it was the intentional hiding of it. Okay, buddy. The fact that she could sit across from me every day, talk about building a future, all while keeping something like that buried. What broke me most were the captions and the messages. She had built emotional connections with subscribers. She'd done all of these things and even hinted that she was single. That wasn't a past that she grew from. That was a life she kept hidden. I notice a lot of guys, you know, they really fixate on the intentional hiding. You know, it wasn't the OF account, or it wasn't the night working that my wife previously did. It was the fact that she kept it hidden. Really? You don't think that it's both? I personally think that it's both, guys, right? So not only is the woman lying to you, but she also did something that is just absolutely, you know, not recoverable. The action itself is bad, but guys, they want to be really polite about it, right? Because again, in society, if you disagree with stuff like this, you're labeled as like someone who doesn't like women, even though you're someone who maybe wants women to actually respect themselves more. That makes you someone who doesn't like women, because apparently this kind of crap is empowering to women. Anyway, let's just continue, or else I'll go on a bit of a rant there. So she talked with all these guys, even hinted that she was single to get more money out of them, I assume. So that night he confronted her about it. He asked, you told me your wild years were in college. This was while we were together. Don't you think I had the right to know? She got defensive, said that she stopped once we got serious. I love how this woman defines serious as the time when she moves into his house. You know, not all of the time before then. It's just when she moves in your house. Now the definition is serious. You see, she says this, right? But serious is just such a flexible term. You know what I mean? Like, she's just doing this because it's convenient to say. That it wasn't real cheating, that it was just content. She even had the nerve to say it helped her feel empowered. That's what I'm saying, guys. Very empowering. When she was broke and struggling. Empowered is fine. Hiding it for years while pretending to be transparent, that is betrayal. So he took a few days to think it over, stayed at his brother's place, weighed everything, the relationship, the good times, etc. And he says, I really don't know who I actually married. He filed for a divorce a week later. She absolutely lost it. She was screaming, crying, raging, said that I was judging her for her past, said that I was insecure and weak. I love how all of this shaming language comes out, by the way. And absolutely, I think judging someone for their past is something that men should absolutely be doing. You know, Lord knows men get judged on their future, certainly, so why can't men judge a woman's past, in my opinion? Anyway, it was about what she kept hidden, etc. She tried everything. She tried the promises, the therapy talk, even guilt-tripping me by saying, so you're going to throw away our marriage over something that's not even active anymore. Oh, absolutely. because it's not about the account, it's about the deception, the double life, the lack of trust. Friends were divided. Okay, I don't want to be married to someone who thinks keeping secrets is fine as long as they're technically in the past. It's funny to me, guys, how like all of the shaming language comes out, right? Oh, you know, my past shouldn't matter, okay? When their past is very, very highly relevant. And also, men get judged for their future as well. A lot of women will complain about this, but nobody forced them to do it as much as they claim that they were oppressed or they had money struggles. Okay, a lot of people go through money struggles throughout their life. You know what the men do when they go through such struggles? They get an actual job and they don't hide it from future individuals that they are in relationships with. But guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Again, going to leave a link to the second channel in the pinned comment. Make sure you go and check it out. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.